Hey everybody, welcome to the live stream, Sunday night live stream. I'm Chris, your host, and tonight we're going to talk a little bit about that cold case that we've been talking about in the last few weeks. So I guess first of all, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And produce is first. Hey, how's it going? I actually visited my parents today and said Happy Mother's Day. From a safe distance, of course. Got a little update from them, which wasn't really much. They have been bored at home. How's everyone doing? Yep, the cold case we were talking about, the Unsolved Mysteries video that my dad was in many years ago. It's actually not called Unsolved Mysteries. It's called Missing Rewards. And he gave me I'm not sure where it's down here. We're talking about old VHS tapes. So he found it. It was aired almost 30 years ago on national TV. And we're just going to take a look at that and talk about it. When I was over there, he gave me the original newspaper clipping from, this is when they filmed the episode. So the actual event happened in February of 91, and this happened where he was in September of 91. So within the same year, they got this rolling. Missing Rewards. So he kept the newspaper clipping. This is the original. And there's just kind of a shot of them filming it here in Syracuse, New York. So he was like an extra in the TV show. So he's barely in it. He's only in there for a split second. You guys wanted to see it. I had problems transferring it at first from my VCR to my computer, but then I played a few other tapes. I've got a stack of VHS tapes right here over the last few days to try to transfer all those old videos onto my computer. And I guess it cleaned the heads when I did that. So I tried it one more time, and it was stabilized, and I got it. It's a little bit less than 10 minutes long. And there's two things on it, but we're only going to show the one because that's the only one that's relevant to us here in Syracuse. It's still a cold case to this day, almost 30 years old. Hi, Kate, your internet connection is especially bad. Yep. If you guys are just joining, didn't hear me already, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I visited mine today, and she's doing good. My dad's doing good. Wanted to do an update for you guys because everybody's asking how my parents are. I don't know if they had suspects, guys. I'm going to be honest. I don't know, like, every detail of this case. All I do know is that my dad was in the video, and I did a little bit of research. I don't think they have... nothing has ever been... they don't really know who did it. So I don't think that they have suspects. If they did, they turned out not to have any proof because this is still, to this day, a cold case. And it happened in a place called Al's Garage. So our family van is in this. It was well known around my neighborhood amongst my friends when I was growing up. And it's in this, and everybody's like, oh my God, they all recognize the van. So I'll point that out to you guys too. Oh, that's cool to hear, Daniel. You're sporting the vegan zombie beanie. Awesome. Glad you got it. And thank you for the support there. YouTube viewer, I have hoodies, sweatshirt hoodies for the Be Kind to Animals, which are on the site. What make and model? It's a Chevy van. I don't remember the exact model. Hi, Oren. How's it going? Hi, Linda, Travis. All right, so if you guys want to watch this along with me, we can go ahead and do that. Hopefully everything's set up right. I'll put my headphones on and we'll try to check this out best we can. Again, remember this is 30 years old, so the quality isn't perfect, but I think it's pretty good considering I took it off of a really old VHS tape that was in the basement of my parents' house for the last 3 decades. Okay, here we go. Let's see.
Recreations to dramatize the events.
Tell me if the sound is okay. I'm going to pause it when I talk because I found you can't really talk over the audio on this. Does anybody remember this show, Missing Reward? I don't remember it. I just remembered that my dad was on one of these shows and I thought it was Unsolved Mysteries, but it was Missing Reward. It might have come out before Unsolved Mysteries. I'm not sure.
Ronald Lardio and Michael Nappy were the best of friends. They worked together, laughed together, and died together.
This case is probably one of the most grisly cases Syracuse has ever seen.
Who is this brutal sledgehammer killer?
That's my dad right there. I probably wouldn't have been able to tell, but I do recognize his jacket that he always wore. You can't really see it, but this is just a quick clip. There's another clip in it later on, but here it is.
There's a $10,000 reward to anyone who answers that question. James Cornutt and Judy Mason were a pair of smooth-talking con artists who stole millions from their closest friends.
Okay, this is another case that they're going to preview that doesn't have anything to do with the one we're doing. Okay, so again, we're just talking about this because I brought it up in a live stream a couple of weeks ago, and my dad was an extra he acted in this, basically. He was one of the killers. This happened in Syracuse, New York, not too far from where I live right now. And it was back in February of 1991, so that was quite some time ago.
Of Missing Reward.
I think it looks
Murder,
okay.
by any means, is inherently brutal. But 2 men being beaten to death with repeated blows from a sledgehammer is a crime that almost defies comprehension. The grisly aftermath of that act is what greeted Syracuse police when they arrived at a local garage known as Big Al's. They found 2 men dead, and that morning began a frustrating search for the person or persons responsible for the killing of Michael Nappy and Ronald Lardio.
Yeah, Stacy Keach.
This case is probably one of the most grisly cases Syracuse has ever seen.
There was huge amounts of blood throughout the garage.
It's tough to deal with it. You cry every day. You cry every day. I'd pick up that morning paper every morning to see if there's something in there.
What kind of car is that? Anybody car experts in here that can tell me what kind of car that is? Because it looks old. When this happened, I was only 15 years old. 15.
Ronald Lardillo was 36 years old. He owned his own garage.
He looks older than 36 to me. Is it me, or did people look older back in the day that were actually younger?
And had named it Big Al's in honor of his father.
He was one of the greatest in the country. The best sons you could ever think of. Happy-go-lucky, help anybody.
Ron was into computers and could fix any kind of computer or hook up any type of computer, and Michael used to go over and play the computers with him. And
you can tell how dated this is because I don't think people say that these days, like going over and playing the computers.
Michael just looked up to Ron.
Michael Nappy was a 43-year-old construction foreman. At the time of his death, he had been married to Roberta for only 5 months.
Michael loved people. He didn't care what their status in life was. It made no difference to him. He was always one that if there was a problem, he felt somehow maybe he could help.
That's how everybody's hair was, like the teased hair when I was in high school. Maybe not quite like that, but you know, the teased hair.
He could fix it.
Michael and Ronald had been close for 15 years. Ironically, it was Michael, the older of the two, who looked up to Ronald. He made it a point to often drop by and visit his friend. It was during one of those visits that the two men met their deaths. February 12, 1991 began like all the others at the garage.
February 12th, isn't that? That's not Valentine's. That's like Abe Lincoln's birthday or something, isn't it?
At 10 a.m., Ronald opened for business. Michael's Jeep had a defective heater, so later in the day, he stopped by the garage to get it fixed.
About 4 o'clock, he called me and told me that the whole heater had to be replaced, and they're in the process
That car looks like a tank.
of replacing the heater, and for me to go straight home because we had some work being done in the home, and the electrician had to be paid.
Later in the afternoon, Patrick Ferrone, a friend of the two men, dropped by the garage to check a used car that he was interested in buying.
Just before I left, Ron had asked me if I'd wanted to keep the car to test drive it myself for a little while and return a little bit later that evening.
Patrick decided not to take the car, a decision that may have saved his life.
After all of this happened, I realized that if I had taken the car for another test drive...
There's the van. There's our van in the background, the blue and white one.
I could have probably...
There it is. Oh, we had so many memories in that van. I remember one time in the winter, I don't know how old I was, probably, I was really young. Maybe 10, 12 at the most. And my dad was at work and my mom was, I think she was either cleaning or taking a nap. And I grabbed the keys and me and my brother got in the van and I turned it on and I would back it all the way down the driveway and back up and back down and back up. And there was snow everywhere, so I would like try to make it slide. I never got caught for doing that, but anyway, that's just a story that I remember.
They come in the middle of it. Still very unnerving.
Anybody know what kind of van that? I mean, it's a Chevy, but like what kind?
I think about it.
After Patrick left, the two men went back to work on the heater. Sometime between 5:30 and 6:15, they apparently had 2 visitors.
That's my dad right there. He's one of the visitors. And not that guy, but that guy. There's Dad. He had the wrench, but I remember that coat that he had. And that's really all that shows. There he is again.
I tried the garage first to see if he had forgotten the time or lost track of time, and I didn't get any answer, or it was busy. So I tried a handheld phone that I knew that Ron always had with him, and there was no answer. So there I knew something was wrong.
Did my dad do a lot of acting? My dad, let's see, he did like theater plays, a few of those, and then he also, so for those of you that don't know, I'm from a small town called Chittenango, New York, and it's the home of L. Frank Baum, the writer of The Wizard of Oz, the creator of The Wizard of Oz. So we have very Oz-themed town. That's what it's known for. And my dad professionally played the Tin Man. And the guy that played the Scarecrow is a professional actor, and he was the other guy in this. So I think that's how he got in there, is that other actor got him to come there and do this. So I remember that my dad was on the cover of a just a little pamphlet of like when you, on the thruway, when you, or maybe not the thruway, the interstate where you, you zone into New York State, and you can go to like a little travel stop and see all the pamphlets and stuff. It says "Welcome to New York State," and he's on the cover as the Tin Man, and he would perform professionally at like the New York State Fair and stuff like that. And he did that for a few years. Other than that, he didn't really do any other acting. To answer your question.
At approximately 6:15, the bodies were discovered. Police were immediately summoned and their investigation began.
The total area was canvassed, meaning that we spoke with anybody that was in the area during the time of the incident.
At 9:45 p.m. in a nearby parking lot, Michael's Jeep was discovered. It had apparently been stolen from the garage. No suspicious fingerprints were found inside the vehicle, and although robbery appeared to be the motive for the murders, no tangible clues as to the killer's identity were uncovered.
So, Produce, where you're talking about a handheld phone, cell phone? I don't think there was any cell phones back when they did this. But, yeah.
The police have always been pretty honest with me, and I think in this case they've consistently said they have no suspects. They really don't even have a motive. I believe that that's the case in this.
So I actually live over near this is Onondaga Lake Parkway, and I bring my dogs there. I run there sometimes with Craig, Noeg Craig, but this is another part of it. 30 years ago, obviously. They have better trails there now to run on and ride bikes and all that stuff.
3 months went by with no leads, until June 17th, 1991.
We received a phone call from a young lady who stated that a friend of hers and her children were out on an afternoon picnic on Onondaga Lake here outside the city, at which time they discovered some property. And after looking over the wallet and some credit cards, they saw the name of Ronald Lardio. It then clicked to them that that name was involved in the homicide on West Street, at which time the police were notified, and we collected the evidence.
There were cell phones back in the 80s, but they were like the big ones that you carried in a case, and they'd have like a. I knew this one rich kid that went to my high school, and he had one, but he was like the only one that had it, and he carried it around on his shoulder strap. Big phone. But we're talking about like the handheld phones. I don't think they came out really yet at that point, and nobody had them.
Unfortunately, the contents of the wallet were so deteriorated that once again no clues were revealed. But the investigation will continue.
At least 1,000 interviews were done. And a lot of those people were re-interviewed several times. At this point in the investigation, interviews start all over again. We go back over the entire investigation and re-interview as many of those people again as we can.
I want to do anything that can help. Anything. If there's a 1 in a million chance, I want to do it. I won't rest until...
Look at that couch. Does anyone have a couch like that?
This case is solved. I will not rest. I go to the cemetery every day, and I vow I won't rest until justice is done so their souls can rest in peace.
I just don't have anybody to be angry at right now. But there will be a day that I will have a name and a face to be angry at.
If anyone watching has any information that could lead to the apprehension of the killer, please call our special 900 number. Remember, all calls will be kept confidential.
If you have information about...
Ooh, a 900 number. $2 per call. I wonder if that number still works. Universal City, California. Nothing ever came of this. It's unsolved to this day. Nobody knows. And that was 29 years ago. So, I mean, there you have it. I wonder if it ever will be solved, you know? When cases go this long, it's pretty rare that they ever get solved. There's a show now on Netflix, like a newer cold case file show that's pretty good, and it shows... I just think it's interesting when they actually solve a case that's like 25, 30 years old, and these are all cases that they have finally solved after all these years. Anyway, I think I might upload this video because I think it came out okay. It's less than 10 minutes long, and if anybody in the Syracuse area wants to see it, it's up there because I don't think this exists online anywhere. But my dad taped it, so what could have been the motive? I don't know. There was they think it was robbery, and I've heard a few things that, because there are some gangs here in Syracuse that it was like gang related. They went there and they just tried to get all the money. I don't know though. Your guess is as good as mine. Yeah, I don't know if they found any DNA testing. I mean, any DNA evidence from whoever did it. Try to call the number. I wonder what would happen if I called that number right now. Would it charge me $2? It probably doesn't work, right? It probably... I just realized. This never happens, but I don't have my phone with me. My phone is now in my proximity. I'm just going to go with it. No phone. All I have is you guys. All I have is you guys. So yeah, I don't know. Is there any other, questions that I might be able to answer about this? I don't know. Would I go to your mansion in Long Island? It just seems weird that you're asking me that right after we watched the double homicide thing. Are you trying to kill me? No, I'm just kidding. I would call it, but I don't have my phone. I don't know. I think Indy took it. What case are we talking about, Race? I'm assuming you just got here. It was a cold case from 1991. My dad he played one of the actors for the reenactment, and that's how that all came about. Video sleuth. Back when this kind of thing, Unsolved Mysteries kind of thing, first came out. Early 90s. 90s, when you say it, doesn't really sound like it was that long ago to me, but when you add up and subtract and do all the math, it's like 30 years. Pretty crazy. You called the number, you're now down $2. Did they, are you kidding? Did you really call it? I do want to know what they say. It's probably going to be like, doo, doo, doo. The number you have dialed has been disconnected. Please try your call again later. If you think you have reached an error, yeah, I was out there skateboarding during this, back when this was being aired on TV, and my dad was doing this. But the two main things we all talked about that I, specifically remember when I was a kid was our van was in this and our dad was in this. So, yeah, what is Stacy Keachin now? Ray should have a live stream with me so we can see. Who is Race Lever? I kind of like that idea too. Yeah, Stacy is a dude. Produce. I have heard that being. I had a manager back when I lived in Florida in '95 that his name was Stacy. So there are Stacys that are guys. A guy who killed hundreds they recently caught. Are you talking about the guy in California and that he was a cop, and the only reason he got caught was because one of his relatives, a niece or something, took one of those DNA tests to see her heritage or something, and the DNA came back almost exactly, but a little bit different because obviously it wasn't him. So they knew that it was someone in his family and her family, and they investigated and they were looking for somebody a little bit older, and they were led to him and they got him. I'm like talking with these on still. I don't really need them on anymore. But I found a whole plethora of awesome videos of me and my friends when we were younger, and I've been gradually putting them on my computer. Now I will have to go through and edit some of them to make them more appropriate for your viewing pleasure and for YouTube. So when I go through and I do that, then we can go ahead and watch some things that I found that I thought I didn't have anymore. You just took a DNA test and it turns out you're 100% related to a serial killer. Which one? You're banned from vegan game. Why? Plants for the win. Why are you banned? I'd let you in, Race, but I don't think you're here because my dog would be barking like crazy. He just knows. If you bend a blade of grass out there, he'll bark. Will I chat with Rebecca, vegan bodega cat? Sure. Seriously, just showed up on my feed. Oh, Belle, you just missed it too. You're too stealthy for dogs. I mean, I could research some like other crimes and stuff, and we could talk about that and do like a whole crime show, cold cases or serial killers and stuff. I studied serial killers when I was going to school for college because I went to school. I got my degree in criminal justice, so I was very intrigued by that whole Mindhunter, John Douglas profilers, serial killer profilers, psychological profilers. Rebecca just did a poll. and you named me. Yeah, if somebody did knock on her, that definitely would be creepy. It'd be like a no sleep podcast. No, Indy will wake up in if he hears something. And if I'm sleeping and the mailman or somebody's outside, he will bark so loud and I'll be like, ah, just wake up out of a dead sleep. Yeah, if you missed it, if you're just joining us, definitely, if you're interested, go back and check it out. It's a quick, less than 10-minute clip. Actually, that's the whole show of Missing Rewards. They really must have put a lot of commercials in this, but I think my dad paused them out of there. Because it's got to be at least a half an hour show. You're a professional stalker. Oh, okay. Do you make a lot decent money doing that? Oh, awesome, Belle. So Belle has been saying that she's been vegan for a while but hasn't ever tried tofu, and I told her to try tofu. So the first time she tried tofu, she had the silken tofu. It came out horrible. She was like, yuck. I'm like, no, you got to have the other kind of tofu. And she just said, I made tofu scramble first time. It was so good. I'm glad to hear that. You're making me hungry for some tofu scramble. I might go make some after this. Am I leaving, Chris? What? Am I leaving? Am I leaving? Am I leaving what? I seem like I just wanted to show you that and then just leave. I mean, now that you say it, I guess good night, guys. I'll talk to you later. Click. No, I'm just kidding. I'll stay for a little bit. I like to stay for at least an hour. Yeah, extra firm is all I use too, Holly. Do I like Criminal Minds? I've seen a few of them, and yeah, they're good. But I haven't ever like binged it, or I don't really know too much going on in the show. I don't know anybody's name, so. But I did meet somebody that played a serial killer in the show. Famous vegans stolen socks. Oh, you make good money. I like more the kind of crime shows, with the exception of True Detective. I really love True Detective. The first one is the only one I saw. But other than that, the shows that I really like are more documentary, really happening. Kind of like what they showed there, but that was like the beginning of when they started doing those shows. But like Forensic Files and the Cold Case one. I really like the Cold Case one. Something that I'm watching that is real. And then I also started watching the Innocence Project, where people were wrongly convicted of a crime, and they spent many years in prison, and then somehow, usually, DNA testing, they're exonerated and let go. Yeah, I don't know how you can make up for taking that many years away from somebody. A lot of them get a pretty big lump sum settlement from whatever city, millions, but still, for millions, you can buy whatever you want, but you can't buy the time that you lost. Time is priceless. Use it wisely. I'll probably make some scramble. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for tomorrow's video. Yeah, I have had the high protein tofu, the extra pressed one, with very, very little water. Detective Joe. I've not heard of that. You love true crime but hate horror movies. Yeah, I think it's more dense, more compact with protein. Joe Kenda. I'm not familiar with Joe Kenda. But I always liked, when I was a little kid, I've always liked Sherlock Holmes. My dad got me into that. Yeah, forensics is definitely interesting. I did a bunch of that when I was in college, but most of it has changed. Well, a lot of it, and maybe not most of it, but a lot of it has changed since I went to college in the late 90s. Scrambled tofu, make a video on that. I actually have several. I think I have maybe 4 or 5. And I could do a live stream tomorrow and we could do some tofu scramble. Could definitely do that. Maybe that's what I will do. Maybe I'll do another live cooking video. I tried to do a video today with an update on my parents because I went to see them. So I don't know if it really came out that good. And I don't know. I might just post it on this channel if I do post it at all. Do I ever get scared being by my lonesome? No. Oh yeah, I could do the soy curl recipe. We could do soy curls. Elf is better than Sherlock Holmes. Elf solves more crimes. Elf eats more cats. Did you guys like the last live cooking video I did? Did I try to become recruited by the FBI? I did. I tried to get in the FBI for a good 12 years. That's part of how I began doing this. Yes, I haven't tried. I've actually made pancakes with bananas and oats and water. I made waffles that way. That's how I make my waffles. Banana, oat flour, water, maybe a pinch of salt, and a little bit of maple syrup. And I actually have some videos on it. I might have to do the live cooking show tomorrow because otherwise I got to edit some videos tonight. But I could do that. I could make some tofu scramble. Maybe we'll make some tofu scramble and those waffles that we were just talking about. Oh, and the soy curls maybe. Maybe. There is something else I was going to make. Lasagna. And but I was going to make like a whole video on that, like not just a live stream. I do have an Instant Pot. I've got a few videos that I did some nice, healthy, oil-free Instant Pot recipes. No, I haven't done that, but that sounds like that would be good. Either a sweet potato oat flour waffles or even a pumpkin puree oat flour waffle, something a little bit sweeter. That would be really good. Oh, I have a lot of gluten-free recipes. And actually, I do have a gluten-free pizza that I did. It was raw vegan, dehydrator. Maybe add more lights. My light broke, Linda. That's the whole reason. The whole light setup I have 2 lights, and one of them. Now we only got one, so we move it in the middle. We got less light. Sorry. Bibimbap. I want to make some of that right now. You like how I make the you like how I don't measure anything, I just eyeball everything? except for when you're baking. You really got to have those measurements right when you're baking. How did it break? Wait, how did what break? Oh, the light. The light bulb came right out of it. You know, the light bulb screws in. I have like big soft boxes with like the big 500 watt bulbs for video making that I bought those like 10 or 11 years ago. Well, the actual bulb came right out of its own little casing, if you know what I mean. So the part that screws in was stuck there. So I had to put my fingers in there and undo it while I was getting electrocuted. No, I unplugged it. I'm kidding. So I do have another light, which is over here. But the problem is, you know, I have another light over here. But, you know, I had several lights that I've accumulated over the last decade. So I wouldn't have to like take all these lights down from this studio every time I have to go downstairs and like disassemble it, go all the way downstairs, set it up down there. So I have a couple lights down there that were for that, but one of them broke. So yeah, time to buy a new light. Oh, well, thank you, Leslie. Natural in the kitchen. I've been doing it for a super long time. I should also probably say, if you came here, if you just logged into this live stream and you came here to see the whole cold case file, we already talked about that. So you got to go all the way and watch it when it's done, but it's definitely worth it. Yeah, I found that you don't really have to measure everything precisely just because the directions say so, depending on what you're making. Like if you're making baked goods, yeah, you probably should stick to it. But if you're making other stuff in the kitchen, like a lot of the recipes I gave you guys, you could put whatever you want, you know, like the seasoning I put in, you can put as much or as little as you want. You know, I mean, I don't think I ever make the same recipe the same twice, you know, like I learn how to make it and then I just kind of go from there. I'm like, well, maybe I'll use this today, that today. Oh, this might make it taste a little better, you know, stuff like that. And I can honestly say that, you know, cooking in the kitchen, and this is, you know, a lot of you are probably the same way. There's really not many things that I screwed up so much that they weren't good. Like I usually can make something taste good, like 99% of the time. There were a couple of cases where I was like, oh, this just doesn't taste good. But those were like rare. After I learned to cook, I guess. You know, learning to cook, yeah, you're trial and error. But I'm talking about lately, past 10, 15 years. Who wants attention? Hi, Christelle. I never know whether to call you Crystal or Christelle. Yeah, I'm going to have more videos that I'm going to... You know, I might just do a whole video on me reacting to some old videos of me. That might be a good video. Would you guys watch that? Would other people watch that? I know you guys watch all my stuff. Thank you. You guys support me, and I'm appreciative of that. But would other people watch it? What things have I messed up? Well, at the beginning, tofu. I messed tofu up a lot because, you know, when you don't really know how to make tofu and you know, this is a long time ago, but, you know, I've screwed up a lot of tofu. That's why I can make it so good now, because I learned how to make tofu. We did, as far as our videos go with John and I at the beginning, we screwed up our vegan meatloaf a few times. The first time we just screwed it up. It wasn't good enough to eat. It didn't stay together, and it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. So we filmed that whole video and we decided not to post it. I should find that old footage and maybe we should show it in a live stream. What's going on out there? Ghost in the hallway. And the second time we filmed it, I think that video was like 3 times the charm kind of thing. The second time we filmed it, we nailed it. Everything was perfect. And I realized that my microphone wasn't on, so we had no sound in the whole video. So I had to scrap that one. And the third time, I don't even think we wanted to film it again. We're just like, maybe we should never make this. But we did it a third time, and it came out, and it's in my cookbook. It's on the channel. It's in the ebook. And now there's a vegan zombie meatloaf, which we called Neat Loaf. John had a good video on popcorn tofu. Yeah, I didn't see it. He posted that today, didn't he? Did he do it live, or did he edited that, right? You know, if you guys saw my last video that I did, so I updated my MacBook. I use a MacBook, and my friend used to work at the Apple store. And when I brought it in there to get fixed or whatever, he logged in to his account and he downloaded Final Cut Pro for me. So I had Final Cut Pro, and that's what I would edit on my MacBook. So I have a lot of videos that I would edit straight from my MacBook. Now, when I edit on my desktop, which is my preferred, unless I'm traveling or whatever, I edit on Premiere Pro. So I went to edit, or you guys know I tried to stream in the kitchen from my MacBook, and I had a lot of problems. Nothing was working. My OBS wasn't working. OBS is the program I use to stream. It's what I'm using right now. You know, that's how I'm able to go to different cameras and stuff like that. But I wasn't able to use it, so I Googled, you know, what is wrong. You know, it says, oh, it doesn't work with El Capitan, and that was the operating system I was using was El Capitan. I hadn't, you know, updated it ever. So I decided, you know, I really need this. I'm just going to update. So I updated to the new one, which is Catalina, and OBS works on it now, but my Final Cut Pro doesn't work. So when I went to update my Final Cut Pro, it said you need to log in, and the login for that was my friend's login. So I no longer have an editing program for my desktop. So I downloaded DaVinci. DaVinci Resolve is a free editing program. And I had to edit a video for, you know, last Thursday. So I'm like, all right, I have this interview that I have with Brian Turner. I'm going to edit this. So I had to learn how to use it and edit at the same time. It only took me a little bit to learn the basics of it and edit the video. But when the video got over with, I premiered it for you guys. And if you guys were on the premiere, you already know that. I don't know if you saw my comment at the end, but I had a whole other part of that video that I filmed, which was an outro, which I basically said that, you know, I hope you guys liked the video. I was saving this video for a rainy day, and here it is, and, you know, all that good stuff. But I forgot to put all that. I don't think I forgot to put it in. I don't think it saved when I edited the video. So it was, you know, trying to edit the video and have a learning curve at the same time. So hopefully I can finish out the rest of my videos on this computer until I learn how to use DaVinci, because it does seem like a pretty good editor. I will say that. No, Rachel doesn't like mushrooms either. I also have a popcorn tofu video, 4 different flavors, which, oh man, they're so good too. I can make popcorn tofu. I did some in the deep fryer and some in the air fryer. So there's something for everyone. Would I ever do an old clip footage of something that I made it? Yeah, I might do that. Actually, I have one on this computer that I never posted from, well, the meatloaf one was from years and years ago, but I have one, I'll have to find it. It's not on my desktop right now, but it's from probably almost three years ago, 3 summers ago. And maybe I'll post that. Maybe I'll narrate as I post it. Hey, Parth. I don't know how to tag back here either, Vegan Makeup Share. Oh, and I don't know if you answered me, but I didn't see your answer if you did about the crystal or crystal. I think I'm going to try to, no, I'm not going to say what I'm going to do. I don't want anybody copying me. I'm going to do it. Got some other things I want to do in the air fryer. Maybe we'll do some of that. Maybe we'll do multiple things at once. See how many things I can get going in the kitchen under pressure. But we won't have that song playing because then it will be like, oh, you went against YouTube community guidelines. Guess what we're going to have to do now. The dandelion honey? I don't know about that. I know about the apple honey. You prefer Cristal. Yeah, because sometimes I call you Crystal. But yeah, it's Cristal. Yeah, we could do that. We can cook random things in the air fryer because that's what I'm thinking of doing. And maybe we could do that on I don't know. You know what I'm going to do? On the next live stream, I'm going to turn it on for a bit. I know that the noise is irritating to listen to. So it depends how it sounds live. Maybe I'll have to do that on not live. Oh, did you say hi to Zeke? I guess Zeke just ran behind me. He went for a ride with me today. And then he was a good boy in the car. Make fried Oreos in the air fryer. I made fried Oreos last summer. Did I make them in the air fryer? I don't remember, actually. It's a recipe that I will never make again, you know. I just wanted to make it vegan. I do have a bunch of vegan snacks I can try. Oh, that's what I was gonna do. Maybe I won't do the live cooking tomorrow because I have the Vegan Cuts snack box to open, so I might be doing that tomorrow. Either way, I could find one or the other. We got Monday and Thursday. Wait, what's because I look different because I'm not wearing my beanie. I'm not wearing my beanie. I'm just wearing my head. I could be wearing my beanie. It's still snowing here. Can you believe that? We're like a month away from summer and we didn't even get a spring because it's just winter up here in Syracuse. Bringing a new meaning to the term cold case. Pizza cook-offs. Oh, I could make pizza all day. It'd be a virtual pizza cook-off. I mean, we're both trying our own pizza, right? Well, that was basically what I was doing. I was doing the unhealthy fair food. I was doing the deep fried Oreo. Yeah, it's cold. It was a little bit, I mean, it's cold, but it was about 45 today. I don't have my phone with me. I was just looking for it. It's probably going to go back down to like 20s or 30s like it has been. And it snowed the other night. It's 2 nights ago, snow. Actually, the last of the snow just melted today. Wow, it doesn't seem like it, but we've been on here almost an hour already. You got a frost warning? Yeah, they're bringing like snowstorms back here like it's 1995, you know? Or not 93. Yeah, I'm in upstate New York. It was snowing 2 days ago. Yesterday, actually. A little bit yesterday, too. Yeah, if you're always cold and you're out there in California, Southern California, then you definitely would be cold here. You had hail today in Central Ohio? I know Linda was saying out there in Oklahoma City there was a bunch of tornadoes. A race of the schizophrenic? It was freezing there, 62. I would love 62-degree weather. My favorite temperature is high 60s, low 70s. I don't like it to be too hot and I don't like it to be too cold. I like it just right. .42 in Ithaca right now. Yeah, I think it is a little bit colder. Which makes it hard to like, I hate going out and going for like, I want to go out and run, but I hate running when it's so cold. I think I'm going to do another video for, blood work. Dana, yeah, you missed the cold case. So I would go back after this is done and rewatch it. We talked about the cold case that my dad was in. He played a reenactment for it. So I have the actual video from 1991. So it's pretty old. It's like almost 30 years old. It happened not too far from where I live. All right, we're approaching an hour. Is any last minute questions? I think I'm gonna make some food and feed the pups. I made them some sweet potatoes, so they're cooling off right now. They love sweet potatoes. I love sweet potatoes. I might share it with them. We might all have the same dinner. Am I still on lockdown? Yeah, I haven't gone anywhere. Well, I visited my parents today, but I was at a safe distance. They haven't gone anywhere either, so. I had to go there and pick up my mail. My vegan cuts box went there. You're welcome, Lynn. I like doing these. I like interacting with you guys. Am I gonna what, V-Dog 2? Parth? Special hugs to Race from Holly. It's pretty bad in the Cape Cod Islands. What, the snow? Oh, the storm that hit? How many sweet potatoes did the dogs get per day? Usually, I mean, they don't get them every single day if I run out of them, but if I have them on hand, they usually get one each. And I gave them a couple carrots before we started the stream, so they love carrots. Are like their favorite snack. They will go crazy over carrots. And then when I get those, I did a video not too long ago. It's a bargain grocery, and I bought like 50 pounds of carrots for $15, and those carrots were like that thick. When I gave one of those to them, like they love them. They'll just chew on it like a dog chews on a bone. Eat that carrot up. No, I give the carrots. I mean, I have given them cooked carrots before, but not intentionally. Like if I cook carrots, those are for me, but maybe I'll give them some too. But no, I always give them raw carrots. Cooked sweet potatoes, raw carrots. That's important. Zeke loves blueberry. I need to do a video of all the things my dogs like and will eat and won't eat. And I can already tell you that Zeke eats most anything, and Indy will only try to eat something if he thinks Zeke's going to get it. So Indy will just like stand over something that he doesn't really like until Zeke goes away. But Indy doesn't eat everything. Indy's very picky, but he's also very jealous. Like if he knows that Zeke's going to eat it, he won't let Zeke near it, but he doesn't want to eat it. What's up, Jim? You caught us right when we were about to get going. Yeah, that's one of the things, YouTube viewer. Indy does not like bananas. If I throw him a banana, he'll catch it and spit it out immediately. Now Zeke, on the other hand, can't get enough bananas, but Zeke also can't get enough anything. The only thing that, well, no, I'll just make a video. You'll find out the one thing that Zeke won't eat. Okay, 2 things that he won't eat. But there's more things that Indy won't eat than he will eat. In the New York area, including where I live, upstate New York, I think a lot of people think when I say New York, a lot of people think, oh, New York City. No, New York State is huge. New York City is just a little down at the end. So New York State, yes. If you go out in public, you need to wear a mask. So if you go to the store or something like that, you need to wear a mask. It's actually, it's a weird vibe. Like if you went somewhere and you're not wearing a mask, not like I have, I always wear the mask. People look at you really funny, like, oh my God, this person's not wearing a mask, like, it's like you got the plague. Can you hear my stomach grumbling? All right, then we'll do that. We'll do that. The problem is I got to find. I'm on such a schedule now that I'm waking up when it's getting dark out, and going to sleep when it's getting light out. Anyway, that is true, Race. Unconstitutional orders aren't laws. I talked about, I heard Trey Gowdy talking about that. And they do have a point. It's a suggestion. Can I put a picture of you on my wall? That's kind of a weird request. Do you look like a zombie? I got a wall of zombies. If you look like a zombie or ET, then I'll put a picture up there. Or maybe I'll do a stream where I just have, one stream. Not every stream, just one stream where I've got a picture and then you can be there next to me. How about that? Oh yeah, we have a Discord. I haven't been on there in a while. You went for a walk today, no mask? Yeah, if I go for a walk, I don't wear a mask. I'm not going near anybody. And also, I go for walks at like 4 a.m. Nobody's around. But I probably will be. I'll probably at some point later on do a Twitch live stream tonight. Not many people watch me on Twitch, and that's fine. And I realize that I do these really late at night when probably everybody's sleeping. So if you do want to see it, it's the vegan zombie without an E at the end because somebody stole my name. So yes, again, happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. And I guess we're going to get going. I'm going to go make some food. Serial killers out at 4 a.m. Yes, we are. Yes, they are. They are. So I will see you guys later. Tomorrow. Not sure what we're doing, but watch out for my video tomorrow. It's either going to be an edit. No, it'll probably be a live stream. It'll probably be my unboxing of vegan cuts. So watch for that on the main channel tomorrow. Everybody have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow. Watch out for zombies.